Good afternoon, Deuterinos. Today we're doing a video on 5 knives that I think deserve a little bit more recognition. Uh, Knives that I think sometimes get kind of lost by the wayside. Um, and let's get into it. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Look down there and make sure that you are. And follow me on Instagram too. Duties_digs. Alright. 5 knives that I think sometimes get overlooked. Not always. I know some of these knives are relatively popular, but I think they're knives that should absolutely be like some of the top knives of their class. And the first one we're going to talk about here is one that you've seen if you follow the channel, but a lot of people, surprisingly, when I show this knife, say that they've never even heard of it. This is the Mini Sheepdog double detent version. There's a small, medium, and large sheepdog from Kaiser in various different forms and scales and all kinds of stuff. But some people don't know that the Mini Sheepdog has a double detent version, meaning that there's no liner lock. It's just a double detent, so you can flick it open and closed super easily, and it is a ton of fun. Not only is it fun, but this is a great EDC knife. If you've never checked out any of the sheepdogs, this is actually the only sheepdog that I've owned, is the mini one, surprisingly. But it's really good, man. It's one of those knives that's smaller but has a real nice choke up spot, so it feels bigger than it really is. I like knives like this a lot because you get a full grip and you have a lot of control over the blade because your thumb can get all the way out to the tip, or in a pinch grip your pointer finger can get all the way out to the tip. It's just it feels good because you have a ton of control over the edge, what the edge is doing. It's the same knife as the Mini Sheepdog, it just doesn't have the liner lock. So you have a detent holding the knife shut and also provides the detent for flicking. Really nice crisp detent for flicking, thumb flicking or reverse flicking. And then you have a second detent holding it open. So you just push pressure on the spine to break that to get it to close. You can do it two-handed, I like to do it like this because it's just really fun. Very, very fidgety. Super fidgety. I own one other double detent knife, and it's the Kaiser Walnut, and this is better. This is much better. In fact, I'll get it out real quick. This one's pretty fun too, but my problem is when I go to front flip it, it doesn't lock out sometimes. In fact, a lot of time. See what I mean? It's like it's slamming out too hard, and that time it did. So yeah, see, sometimes it doesn't lock all the way out. My other complaint is for some reason they took a notch out right there at the tip, making it less of a good utility cutter. It's still decent, but if they would have left that tip there, it would have been better. I'm not sure why they took that off. So I don't really recommend the walnut as much, unless you want like a money clip knife. That would be cool, but this is a much better EDC knife, and a lot of people don't know that it exists. So there you go. Next, let's look at a Tucson. This is a Tucson that is really badass that a lot of people don't know about. It's the Tucson TS377, and I'm just noticing right now that the pivot's a little bit loose. Let me tighten that up here. It was off center. There we go. This is a really badass knife. I have a full cut test with it, and it cuts really, really, really well. You can see it's a tanto, but it's a very low-tipped tanto. I mean, just look at it. In relation to the handle, this is sloped all the way down here. The tip is pretty much below the center line of the knife. It's not really something you usually see in tantos. So it's a super useful tanto. Not only is it got a low tip, but it's very thin up here. A lot of tantos have, thin, slicey grind here, and then it gets much thicker toward the tip for piercing and prying. This one does not. It also gets very, very thin at the tip. You can kind of tell just by looking at the spine, but it is a needle-like tip, and that just makes utility cutting even better. So the tip's just pointed straight down. I mean, look at that. I'm not even raising my wrist up that high at all. I'm already right at the tip. this thing, you destroyed utility cuts and slicing. It's very thin behind the edge all around. Not only that, it's a full titanium frame with carbon fiber inlay. Looks really badass. Milled titanium pocket clip. Got the pivot collar there with the writing on it. It's a front flipper only. You have this opening here, but it's pretty difficult to get to. I can't really get to it, but the front flipper works really nicely. Very smooth. It's an inset liner lock. It's just badass, man. Really badass knife. About $100 when you can find them in stock. I'll link them down below, as with all these knives, if it's in stock. Even if it's not, I'll still link it. That way you can sign up for email notifications or whatever you want to do. D2 blade steel, by the way. And the blade steel on the mini Sheepdog was 154 cm. Next, the Gonzo FH12. Now, this one has been chopped. Doesn't usually look like this when you buy it. I made a video on it recently, a few shorts and all that. It's a $27 knife that has some amazing action. I mean, look at that. Absolute false shutness, no blade play. Holy crap. I just didn't really like the design that much. Even though it had really good action, it wasn't my favorite design ever. So I ended up chopping it. Shortened the blade and the handle, and made some new holes and tapped those holes to secure the pocket clip back on. And now it is excellent. I made kind of a drop pointish, spear pointish blade. Still large enough to fit in your hand easily. $27, and look at that freaking action, dude. It's snappy, incredibly false shut. If you want to experience high-end action for only $27, this is the way to do it. If you do want it chopped, send it to me. I'll do it for a good price. Or you can just, get it as it comes. The Gonzo FH12 in stainless steel. Next, the Kaiser Towser S. This is probably the most popular on this whole list, but I still feel like some people maybe kind of passed it up because there are a few different Tousers. There's the Towser K, there's a couple of Towser Ks, there's the Towser K button lock, and then the Towser S here. It's basically a Towser K that has been chopped down. Same size handle, except it's shorter, but same thickness and all that. Actually, I think this is a little bit thicker. The action here is just unbelievable. It's a really me knife. I really like knives like this. Knives that are just super ergonomic, with choke-up spots, with sheepfoot or a Warncliffe. This is just my jam. It's so comfortable in hand. It fills up your hand so nicely. Great sheep's foot blade, just a classic sheep's foot. Great job on the sharpening choil plunge guide area. These are aftermarket clips, or thumb studs rather. They're from Chavez. I had extra ones. And this is an deep carry titanium Kaiser clip. You can get these on their website. I think they're $15. The one it comes with is fine. It's just a regular Kaiser deep carry clip, but I had it, so I figured I'd throw it on there. The detent here is just unbelievably snappy. There's multi-row bearings in here, so it's just crazy false shut. It's a great knife, man. It really is. It's got a long row of jimping. It's not the grippiest jimping. I wish it was the grippier kind, but at least it's there and it's nice and long. Haven't done a cut test with this knife yet, but it's gonna be good. It's gonna be totally fine. It's not too thick behind the edge. It's it's a sheep's foot. It's great. 154 cm blade steel, rich light handles with this cool milling pattern on them. Yeah, this is a really good one. And lastly, this is a modern slip joint. This is the Real Steel Solus, and this is the more budget option, but they also make this in titanium and an upgraded blade steel, which I have been very tempted to get. This is pretty cool. It's got a pocket clip on it, deep carry pocket clip that's inset. We have I don't know if it's a coating or anodization, but we have this bronze coating or whatever on all the hardware and the clip, and then we have this long fuller along the blade for you to grab. We have a 45-degree half stop which is interesting. Really excellent snap out to full open position. This is a very thin blade, very thin behind the edge, sheep's foot blade. Kind of a almost kind of futuristic-ish design. It's just, man, this thing cuts so good. Just, it's very, very slicey. Full grip on it, D2 blade steel. This is just a really good lightweight slicer. It really is. The walk and talk feels great. Nice pop right there. Really nice snap out to full open position. Nice snap there. The snap close is a little bit lackluster, but it's not too bad. Yeah, it's not bad at all. Perfectly centered. This is just a really good knife, and it's very cheap. I think like 37 bucks. And like I said, there's a titanium one that I think is around 100. I believe it's titanium and 14C or something like that, but it's also affordable. So this is a really cool one, and not a whole lot of people, at least I haven't seen a whole lot of people talk about this one. That's it. Hope you guys enjoyed the list. If you guys can think of any other knives that you think that are overlooked, let me know in the comments. Please like the video before you head out. I'd appreciate it very much, and I will see you next time.